very good morning to everyone. I hope that you're taking care of yourself, and the problem which is going on is very genuine, and you have to take care of yourself, and that is what is most essential at this point of a time. A very good morning. Friends, just let me know if I'm audible to everyone. I'm audible. And then we would be discussing the very important questions today. That is the questions which are basically being based upon India Yearbook. Those questions are very important. So we would be discussing those questions. Just let me know if I'm audible. Okay, fine. So, friends, today the first and the most important thing that is required is that you should stay safe, stay healthy. That is what is most essential at this point of time. सबसे ज़्यादा जरूरी वो है, and do follow the guidelines that has been given by the Prime Minister of the country. Self isolation becomes very important at this point of a time. So therefore you should follow those guidelines which have been given by the Prime Minister of the country. If you have a leaning towards any political party, does not make any sense. He's the Prime Minister of the country, and we have to follow the guideline that has been given by the leader of the country. And Unacademy at this point of time is there to help you out. And for example, everyone knows that. Kadam, just give me 1 minute and then we'll continue. A very good morning to everyone. Oh, hello, Monira. So, the guideline that has been given by the Prime Minister of the country should be followed strictly. देखो कोई भी ऐसा कभी नहीं होता that आपको बोल दिया जाए कि emergency situation has erupted. No. We have to understand this from our perspective that the things are getting not within that much control. If things are not within that much control, this may be what is called a testing period for extension of this, which may be extended. For example, there are news in my own home district. I'm presently in Punjab, in Batinda, my home district. News that there may be, for example, lockdown till for the next 6 to 7 days, till 27th. 6 days का बोला है जो डिप्टी कमिश्नर का उनका आदेश आया है. It is for the benefit of the people of the country as a whole. और 4-5 दिन हम नहीं किसी से मिलेंगे, hardly does not make any difference. Try to maintain your distance from the people. Self isolation becomes essential at this point of time. And आपके लिए तो और भी ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है because exam है. People will not be disturbing you. So it is the right time for you to study the hardest at this point of time. So at Unacademy, I'm taking up at this YouTube session the questions which are basically being based upon the India Yearbook. इंडिया ईयरबुक के ऊपर बेसिस जो क्वेश्चन इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन बन सकते हैं. Not only these question, friends, Unacademy is also coming up with a test series, a championship test series that is coming up. 5 उसके अलग अलग टेस्ट हैं starting from the end of March itself. So you do attempt that question, that paper also. That will be very useful. Standard काफ़ी अच्छा रखा गया उन questions का. The same question अभी भी जो आपके question answer मैं करवाऊँगा, it is of a very high standard. Of a UPSC standard. हो सकता है कि इन्हीं में से कुछ ना कुछ वहाँ पे कोई क्वेश्चन आपको UPSC में आ जाए. Firstly, second, those students who have still not joined the Plus platform, they can use my referral code. My referral code is Maluka10. जैसे ही आप मेरा referral code use करेंगे, you'll get a 10% discount on all the courses which are being run on the Plus platform. Not only this, friends, it is also I've created a group for the Unacademy students. WhatsApp group मैंने बनाया हुआ है, Telegram पे हूँ. Do send all your queries at this point of time. If we cannot be 24/7 present physically, definitely we can be there to help you technologically also. My Telegram group is, for example, the name is Maluka sir के नाम से Telegram group मैंने बनाया गया है. और just give me two minutes, Navneet. And you can also send me a message on the Telegram that you are a student of Unacademy. 9910133084. This is the number. यहाँ पे आप मेरे को WhatsApp कर सकते हैं. Do write your name and that you are a student of Unacademy. You are watching the live classes or whatever classes you are watching in any way, in any format at Unacademy you are watching. And just send me a friend request. या for example एक message कर सकते हैं आप. I'll add you to the group of Unacademy students. So वहाँ पे कोई भी डाउट आप रेगुलरली मेरे से पूछ सकते हैं. बिफोर वी मूव ऑन दिस क्वेश्चंस, वेरी हाई क्वालिटी क्वेश्चंस दैट आई प्रिपेयर्ड. देयर सम क्वेश्चन दैट आर कमिंग. कदम शर्मा, इट इज द होल बुक इज नॉट नीडेड टू बी कवर्ड. कुछ तो मैंने मार्किंग करवा दी थी. अप्रोक्सीमेटली 300 प्लस पेजेस, 400 के आसपास की मैंने मार्किंग करवा दी थी. एंड दैट आई हैव कवर्ड इन द स्पेशल क्लासेस विच हैव टेकन अप. 2 सेशंस हुए थे. उसके बाद सेशंस नहीं हो पाए बिकॉज फॉर वेरियस रीजंस. और अभी भी जो मैं क्वेश्चंस करवा रहा हूँ, अप्रॉक्सीमेटली जितने क्वेश्चन अभी हो पा रहे हैं वी वुड बी कवरिंग. बैक फॉलोड बाय दिस देयर वुड बी अ स्पेशल क्लास ऑन इंडिया ईयरबुक क्वेश्चंस आल्सो. इसी की कंटिन्यूटी होगी वो. मोर क्वेश्चंस वुड बी डिस्कस्ड. तो अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 1 आवर की क्लास वो है. 8 to 10 ये क्लास चलेगी. 10, 11 to 12 would be another class that would also be based upon India Yearbook questions also. Tomorrow there would be another class again based upon India Yearbook questions also. तो वहाँ पे भी आप कर सकते हैं. आपको काफ़ी ज़्यादा यूजफुल रहेगा. सो कवरिंग दिस क्वेश्चन आंसर, आपका इंडिया ईयर बुक का मेजॉरिटी जो पोर्शन है इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन जहाँ से फॉर्म हो सकते हैं, पेज बाई पेज वी हैव ट्राई टू फॉर्मुलेट. चाहे एक पेज से एक क्वेश्चन बन रहा है, चाहे 10 पेज में से भी एक क्वेश्चन बन रहा है, उसी हिसाब से हमने इन क्वेश्चन को बनाया है. Yes, the Navneet, the class is for IS. Before we start off with this session, any student want to ask anything regarding the preparation, do let me know. फिर उसके बाद हम क्लास की तैयारी स्टार्ट करेंगे. एंड आप तब तक कोई क्वेश्चन टाइप करिए. फॉर द टाइम बिंग आई विल एक्सप्लेन स्मॉल थिंग्स एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. फॉर एग्जांपल, जैसे आपको पता है कि यूपीएससी इंटरव्यूज आर बीइंग डिलेड. 23rd से लेके मार्च से लेके जो 1st of April तक की जितनी भी इंटरव्यूज है, एवरी इंटरव्यू हैज़ बीन डिलेड. तो यूपीएससी ऑन द वन हैंड इज ट्राइंग टू आल्सो कॉपरेट. जो भी इंटरव्यू डिले हो चुकी हैं उनका रिजल्ट भी डेफिनेटली डिलेड ही आएगा. अगर स्थिति नॉर्मल नहीं रही, देयर मे बी सर्टेन प्रॉब्लम्स दैट कैन बी देयर. दैट प्रॉब्लम्स मे बी इंक्रीजिंग. मल्टीपल थिंग्स कैन बी देयर. जिस तरीके से देश की स्थिति है, अगर आई पर्सनली बिलीव दैट अ ब्लॉकआउट और लॉकआउट इज नीडेड फॉर अप्रोक्सीमेटली 10 to 14 days. 10 से 14-15 दिन का टोटल ही बंद चाहिए, तभी तो ठीक हो पाएगा. एल्स इट विल बी अ प्रॉब्लम बिकॉज एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पीपल दे डू नॉट अंडरस्टैंड the gravity of the situation is not being understood by the general population as a whole. Normally, this is, I personally believe, this is just a testing time. Government is just testing for 1 day. Uske baad it may be extended to more number of days also, and it should be extended. It is for us only. The government is trying to take care of the people. थोड़ा बहुत काम ऊपर नीचे हो सकता है. I can totally understand. But essential items are definitely being made available. दूध चाय और कुछ है वो that are being made available. सरकार उनको दुकानें वो खुली छोड़ रही हैं. ठीक है. Now next is that we have to take up the various questions. The first question that is there. Consider the following statement regarding Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. And we have to see which of the following options are correct. And the options that are given to us are the objective of housing for all mission in rural areas, to provide affordable, environmentally safe and secure Pakka house to every household by 2022. Third, everywhere in the country. Which of the following options are correct? What is the answer for question number 1? आंसर फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 फ्रेंड्स क्या बनता है?
पहले बड़े नवे दफ्तर थे कि पुराने दफ्तर च देखो किथे
रहन The answer for question number 1 is B, in which the first and the second statements are correct. B, first and second statements are correct. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin is basically providing a pakka house that would be provided. A pakka house would be given. There would be with basic amenities to all the householders would be provided, and those households which are living in kacha and dilapidated houses by 2022. The immediate objective is basically to cover 1 crore households living basically in the kacha houses in 3 years starting from 2016-17 to 2018-19. A minimum size of the house has been increased, for example, to 25 square meters from 20 square meter that was earlier being provided with a good amount of hygiene cooking space that is there. The assistance has basically been increased from 70,000 to 1.20 lakh basically in the plain areas, और जो हिली एरियाज है वहाँ पे 75,000 से बढ़ा के 1.30 lakhs कर दिया गया है. हिली एरियाज, डिफिकल्ट एरियाज और IAP districts में. The beneficiaries are entitled to persons per day for unskilled labor or Manreka also. Question number 2. Consider the following statement regarding the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. Next third one है. Consider the following statement regarding urban mission. It was basically launched in 2016. Second, to transform rural areas to economically, socially, and physically sustainable spaces. It is also known as Sham Prasad Mukherjee urban mission. Which of the following options are correct for question number 3? Friends, keep on typing the answer simultaneously. इन क्वेश्चंस को फ्रेंड डेफिनेटली सॉल्व करिए. दीज आर वेरी हाई क्वालिटी क्वेश्चन. पीडीएफ नहीं होगी, ऐसे ही करना पड़ेगा आपको. दो स्टूडेंट्स हु विल बी देयर जो टेलीग्राम पे होंगे या व्हाट्सएप पे होंगे उनको पीडीएफ में प्रोवाइड कर दूंगा. यस, पीडीएफ वुड बी प्रोवाइडेड टू दो स्टूडेंट. लेकिन आपको आंसर्स तो यहीं से करने पड़ेंगे जितने होते हैं. It is D that is the answer for question number 3. It was basically launched in 2016 to transform the rural areas basically to economically, socially, and physically sustainable spaces. Also called Sham Prasad Mukherjee urban mission bill को बोला जाता है. It is basically a cluster-based approach है. They are basically trying to develop a cluster of these smart villages. Smart villages का एक cluster develop करने की कोशिश करी जा रही है. The state government would identify the cluster population of 25 to 50,000 in the plain areas और 5,000 से लेकर 15,000 तक डेजर्ट या हिली एरिया या ट्राइबल एरिया को उनको आइडेंटिफाई किया जाएगा एक क्लस्टर की तरह. Question 4, very very important. The government scheme for the youth of Kashmir is called. Options that are available to us are Himayat, Himmat, Roshni and Udan. Which of the following options are correct for question number 4? What is the answer for question number 4, friends? क्या लोड नहीं क्यों पढ़ाई रही है मेरी थी क्लास हौली बोल में आवाज आई जाती है The answer for question number 4 is B, that is Himayat. Is a path-breaking initiative of the Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India, that is implemented by Jammu and Kashmir Entrepreneurship Development Institute, basically with Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, basically as a coordinating monitoring agency aims at providing the entrepreneurial skills for sustainable livelihood. To 10,000 youth that would be provided, an attempt is basically made to facilitate access to finance and support services also, at least 50% of them over a period of 3.5 years. Basically the project aims to generate sustainable livelihood opportunities that would be generated कैसे किए जाएंगे through self employment for the youth of Jammu and Kashmir, basically by cross-cutting approaches of holistic entrepreneurship that would be entrepreneurship development programs that would be developed. When the 10th schedule was introduced in the constitution by amendment for the first time, it was related to, and the options that are available to us are anti-defection law, Sikkim association with India, reservation in public employment, and fundamental rights, which are the answer for question number 5. अब आज मेरे को जल्दी जल्दी से आंसर दीजिए. We'll cover it as soon as possible, as much as possible. Question number 5, yes. 10th schedule was the first time when it was introduced, was basically in the context of this one. The Sikkim expressed its desire that it should have a greater association with India. According to the 35th Constitution Amendment, it was enacted. The amendment introduced a new class of a statehood under the Constitution by basically conferring Sikkim the status of an associated state to the Indian Union. For this purpose, a new Article 2A and a new schedule, that is 10th schedule, conserving the terms and conditions of association they were introduced basically in the Constitution. It was lit जब पहले ऐसा नहीं कि वो 10th schedule किसके लिए है. The question is basically in the context that when the 10th schedule was introduced for the first time, it was related to. Initially, Sikkim Association के साथ था, then उसी में greater amount of था, उसी में defection की बात भी करी गई थी. Hothouse Earth, a term recently seen in news, most appropriately refers to the scenario in which carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere cross 400 parts per million. The Earth is 2 degrees C warmer than pre-industrial times. The rate of species extinction far exceeds the normal or the background rate. and D, B, both B and C. Which of the following options are correct for question number 6? What is the answer for question number 6? Answer is B. The world has experienced many periods of mass extinction that has caused by variety of the natural forces. But the greatest period of mass extinction as world seen is occurring at this point of time. It is occurring right now. It is basically reckoned as the current rate of extinction. Current rate of extinction is between 100 and 1,000 times, that is comparatively faster than the average historical extinction rate that is for the present. जिस रेट से extinction हो रहा है, that is hundreds of times, thousands of times faster as compared to what it was earlier. The hot house earth is a deadly serious concept. Researchers they believe that we could soon cross a threshold leading to a boiling hot temperature and towering seas basically in the centuries to come. Even if the country there succeeded in meeting the carbon dioxide targets, we could still be comparatively on an irreversible path. अगर CO2 के टारगेट्स भी हम फिल कर रहे हैं तो अभी भी इरिवर्सिबल पाथ की तरफ ही मूव कर रहा है. Studies show that if the global temperature would rise by 2 degrees C, that would have a far-reaching effect on the continent. Question 7. All citizens are given the right to practice any profession or carry out any occupation or trade or business. The state can impose reasonable restriction on the exercise of this right on the ground of. And the options that are available to us are interest of general public, public mortality, sovereignty and integrity of India, and D, all of the above. Which of the following options are correct? For question number 7, what is the answer? क्वेश्चन नंबर 7 का आंसर क्या बनता है? Question number 7, it is A, that is the answer. The first option is correct. When you talk about Article 19, all citizens have the right to practice any profession or to carry out any occupation or trade or business. But on the other hand, nothing in this said clause shall affect the operation of any existing law जो चल रहा है insofar as it imposes or it is preventing the state from making any law imposing in the interest of the general public reasonable restrictions or for example on the exercise of the rights conferred by the said subclauses also. Nothing shall be affecting the operations of any existing law insofar as it relates to or prevents the state from making any law relating to it. The law can be relating to professional or technical qualifications that are comparatively necessary to carry on any occupation, any trade or business. The carrying on by the state or by a corporation owned or controlled by the state, any business trade, industry, or services, whether to the exclusion, complete or partial, of citizens or otherwise also. Amanu, very good morning. Question 8, very important. As per the India wage report published by ILO, which of the following options are correct? The average daily wages nearly doubled in absolute terms from nearly 90s to recent years. An urban worker earns around twice his rural counterpart. The gender gap in the daily wages have been on the decline since 1990. Which of the following options are correct? क्वेश्चन 8 का क्या आंसर बनता है? अदर्स ऑल्सो डू ट्राई एट दिस. अगर इन क्वेश्चन को करोगे फ्रेंड्स, काफ़ी ज़्यादा बेनिफिट आपको मिलने वाला है, काफ़ी ज़्यादा. Others also do try at this. Question number 8, it is D, that is the answer. All the three are correct. The reports that has been published. The wage gap will be remaining, though the daily wages have nearly doubled in the absolute terms from 1993 to 2012 and present. India, there is significant still gap that is prevailing between the rural and the urban areas and male-female wages also. इस तरीके से बताएगा डेली better wages, rural urban divide, and the gender gap that is still prevailing. Why is the Varadero reef off the shore of the city of Cartagena recently in news important for marine biologists to be studied? And the options that are available to us are: this is the first successful real question of a coral colony by humans. It is the first such extensive coral reef to be found at the mouth of the river. This reef thrives in a highly polluted environment. And D, none of the above. Which of the following options are correct for question number 10? What is the answer for question number 9? Friends, everyone should try to give the answer. चाहे गलत ही हो, गलत ही सही is a different thing. Try to give the answer. Others also do try. The answer for question number 9 is C. This reef thrives comparatively in a highly polluted region. Over this it was there. Question 10. Consider the following statement regarding One Dhan scheme, and which of the following statements are correct in this regard? The options that are available to us are: the schemes will be implemented by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. This scheme seeks to improve tribal income through value addition of tribal products. Which of the statement is above given are correct? One only, two only, both one and two, neither one nor two. It is C that is the answer. Both options are correct. Vandhan is basically an initiative that has basically been taken by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs and by the TriFed also. It will be implemented through the Ministry of Tribal Affairs as a nodal department at the central level that would be implementing, and TriFed as a nodal agency at the national level. At the state level, the state nodal agency for MFE and district collectors are basically, and the district collectors are envisaged to play a pivotal role at the grassroots level. Locally, the kenders are basically proposed to be managed by a managing committee. For example, there is a self-help group that would be there. It will be basically be consisting of the representatives of the Vandhan self-help group in a cluster, and they would be trying to implement it. They are basically काम क्या करेंगे? They are basically seeking to improve the tribal income, and that will be improved through a value addition of the tribal products that will be done. Next, question 11. The European Commission and the European Space Agency Galileo will be akin to NASA, and the options that are available to us are Solar Parker Probe, Global Positioning System, James Webb Space Telescope, and none of the above. And D is explained. Which of the following options are correct? Krishma Begum, a very good morning. Question number 11. It is B that is the answer. The Europe's Galileo system, that is basically a project of the European Commission and a European Space Agency, that is 24 satellite. They will constitute a full system, but in it will have six spares in orbit also. Also, 22 spacecrafts are in orbit today. Nestled in the peaks of the Himalayas is the ancient village that has a unique democratic system said to be among the oldest in in the world, and similar to the ancient Greek system of democracy. It consists of the lower and the upper houses. Canvas has long been the backbone of the small village economy. The locals they speak Kanashi, which is considered sacred and not taught to outsiders. This village is, and the options are the Now in Jammu and Kashmir, Malana in Himachal Pradesh, Borong, Sikkim, and Zoro in Arunachal Pradesh region. Which of the following options are correct? A very important one. It is B that is the answer. Legends has it that some of the Alexander's the Great Army took shelter in the isolated village in approximately in 326 BC. That is there. After they were wounded by the battle against Porus, the ruler who was basically ruling in the regions of Punjab, These soldiers are often said to be the ancestors of the Malani people. Artifacts that are there that from this period they have been found in the villages, such as a sword that reportedly rests inside the temple. However, the genetic ties to the soldiers have not been studied or not had been established at this point of time. Question number 13. Consider the following statement. India recently held its first 2 plus 2 dialogue with the US. The Comcasa agreement restrict Indian imports of military equipment from Russia. Which of the following options are correct? Question number 13 का आंसर क्या है? Question number 13, it is A that is the answer. Second is incorrect because India and the US have recently begun a new generation of the military and security cooperation, and they're basically by signing Comcasa. The announcement on the significant agreement came to an end with the inaugural of 2.2 plus 2 dialogue. Additional information that has been given in the book is that India and USA have also held a first ever tri exercise on the eastern coast. That was then tri exercise was also being undertaken. The Carnegie Endowment for International Peace is a global network of policy research centers in the US, Europe, China, Middle East, West Asia, and the option available to us are India and Brazil, South Africa and India, Brazil and Singapore, Russia and India. Which of the following options are correct? What is the answer for question number 14? Question 14 is D. Is an international peace is a unique global network of the policy research centers that are there in Russia, China, Europe, Middle East, India, and USA. All these are a part of it. The mission, dating back to more than a century, the mission is basically to advance the peace, and advancement of the peace will be done through the analysis and development of the fresh policy, ideas, and direct engagement and collaboration with the fresh decision makers in the government, in the business, and civil society. It is one of the oldest international affairs think tank in the USA. It is the oldest Carnegie. It was basically founded in 1910. Question 15. A scheme was launched by the Ministry of Women and Child Development for partial wage compensation to women for wage loss during the childbirth birth and child care. Under this provision, for the conditional cash transfer for the pregnant and lactating women of 19 years of age and above for the first live birth. Which scheme has this feature? Pradhan Mantri Matro Vandana Yojana, National Nutritional Mission, Janani Shishu Suraksha Karyakram, and D, none of the above. क्वेश्चन 15 का आंसर क्या बनता है? एवरीवन शुड ट्राई, ये तो सिंपल क्वेश्चन है. It is A, that is the answer. Under the Pradhan Mantri Matrutva Vandana Yojana scheme, there is a provision that they would be providing for the partial wage compensation to women for the wage loss that has been done during the childbirth and childcare. Under the scheme, there is a provision for the conditional cash transfer that will be done for pregnant and lactating women of 19 years of age and above for the first live birth. The objective schemes के क्या है? Basically, providing partial compensation for the wage loss that would be provided in terms of cash incentive so that the women's they are able allowed to take the adequate rest and after delivery of the first living child. The cash incentive would also lead to improvement in the better in the health of also for the pregnant and for the pregnant and lactating mothers. The goal is basically to achieve improvement in the nutritional status of these children also from the age of 0 to 6 years. Adolescent girls है, pregnant women है, lactating mother, इनका nutritional status हमें अच्छा करना है. As for improving the institutional delivery, Janani Shishu Suraksha Karyakram was basically launched in the year 2011 to assure a cashless institutional delivery that can be done to the pregnant women. And that will include the providing for the free transport, providing for the free diet also. It is not directly launched with the objective to compensation, wage loss, etc. Consider the following pairs. Which of the following options are correctly matched? Schemes, programs और implement कौन सी मिनिस्ट्री कर रही है? हृदय, that is Ministry of Tourism. Prasad, that is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Krishi Kalyan Abhiyan, that is Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. Which of the following options are correct? Question 16 का क्या आंसर है फ्रेंड्स? Everyone should try. It is A, that is the answer. The first is incorrect. It is Ministry of Urban Development is Heritage City Development and Augmentation Yojana is under the Ministry of Urban Development. The scheme is basically to they wanted to preserve and revitalize the soul of the heritage city so that the city can be reflected by its unique character and by encouraging aesthetically appealing to the people, accessible, informative, and secured environment that can be there. The second pair is incorrect because Prasad is basically being implemented by the Ministry of Tourism. 12 cities which are there are Amaravati, that is there in Andhra Pradesh, Gaya in Bihar, Dwarka, Gujarat, Amritsar, Punjab, Ajmer in Rajasthan, Kanchipuram, Tamil Nadu, Velankani in Tamil Nadu, Puri in Odisha, Varanasi, UP, Mathura, UP, Kedarnath, Uttarakhand, and Kamakhya in Assam. These are basically being developed under the Prashad scheme. The third pair is correct in the context that Krishi Kalyan Abhiyan is definitely under the Ministry of Agriculture. Question 17. Consider the following statement about the National Skill Development Corporation and we have to choose which of the following options are correct. It is not for profit public limited company. It was set up by the Ministry of Finance as a public private partnership model. It aims to promote skill development by catalyzing creation of the large quality and non and for profit vocational institution. Which of the following options are correct? नहीं करिश्मा, इट इज फाइन, बिल्कुल सही है. It is D that is correct. All the national statements are correct. NSDC is basically a not-for-profit public limited company incorporated in 2008. It was set up by the Ministry of Finance as a public-private PPP model पे बनाया गया था. The Government of India through the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship that will be holding 49% of the share capital of NNDC. On the other hand, the private sector, they will be sharing a balance of 51% of the share capital that would be shared by them. काम क्या करेगा? It is basically working to promote the skill development. And कैसे करेंगे? By catalyzing the creation of the large quality and for profit vocational institutions that would be established, and they would be basically mandated to enable the support system which will be focusing upon the quality assurance, the information system, and train the trainer academics either directly or through a partnership analysis that would be done. तो इस तरीके से उनको डेवलप करने की कोशिश करेंगे. Question 18. Consider the following about the e-government development index, and which of the following options are correct? It presents the state of e-government development of the United Nations member state. EGDI is a composite measure of the three important dimensions of e-government, namely the provision for online services, telecommunication, connectivity, and human capacity. Which of the following options are correct for question number 18? Question number 18. It is C that is the answer. E-government development index that was there presents the state of the e-government development of the United Nations members. किस तरीके से development हो रही है? What would be done? There would be assessment of the website development patterns in the country. The e-government development index that will be incorporating the access characteristics such as infrastructure and educational levels. to reflect how a country is using information technology basically to promote कि आप information technology को किस तरीके से use कर रहे हैं to promote access and inclusion of its people. It is a composite measure of three important dimensions, namely provision for the online services, telecommunication connectivity, and a human capacity. All these things are there. The EGDI is not designed to capture the e-government development in an absolute sense. Rather, it is basically aiming to give the performance rating of the national government related to the another one another. एक दूसरे की context में. The survey is conducted every 2 years by the Department of Economic and Social Affairs Secretariat, with assistance would also be undertaken of the International Telecommunication Union (ITU), Institute for Statistics of UNESCO, etc. Integrated Guided Missile Development Plan envisages the development of which of the following missiles, and the options that are available to us are Agni, Akash, Trishul, Prithvi, and Nag. Which of the following options are correct? क्वेश्चन नंबर 19 का क्या आंसर बनता है? It is D, that is the answer. IGMDP was basically envisaged by the former President Abdul Kalam Saab, basically so that India is in a position to attain the self-sufficiency in the field of missile technology. 5 missile system has been developed under the program. That is, for example, Agni is there, Akash is there, Trishul, Prithvi, and Nag. These are the 5 missiles that are being developed under the program. Agni, Akash, Trishul, Prithvi, and Nag. Question 20. VRC, Village Resource Centers are, and the options that are available to us are local voluntary organization to map the resources of the villages, set up by the Ministry of Rural Development for holistic development, bodies under the state government to upgrade the skills of rural youth, set up by ISRO in selected villages to meet the needs of the people using satellite data. Which of the following options are correct? Yes, it is D, that is the answer. Set up by ISRO basically in the selected villages, and they meet the needs of the people who are using the satellite data. ISRO has established approximately 473 village resource centers, and they would be established. They are established on the pilot basis in association with the selected NGOs, the trust, and the state government departments. And it's one of the unique communication system that will be using satellite communication network and the Earth observation satellite that would be underused. Data to reach out to the villages and address the needs of the people in the villages itself. लोगों की ज़रूरत गांव में ही पूरी करने का काम करेंगे. Question 21. Which of the following statement is are correct? Sri Lanka is separated from India by a narrow channel of sea formed by Park Strait and the Gulf of Mannar. Second statement, the mainland of India comprises of the four regions, namely the Great Mountain Zone, the plains of the Ganga and Indus, and the desert regions, and the southern peninsula. Which of the following options are correct for question number 21? 21. Others also do try on this. They see that is the answer. Both the statements are correct. Sri Lanka is separated from India by a narrow channel of the sea, by Park Strait and Gulf of Mannar. That comprises of the four regions, that is the mainland, the comprise of the four regions, the great mountain zones, plains of the Ganga and Indus, the desert region, and there is the southern peninsula. These are the four major regions of the mainland that is comprising. The Himalayas, they are basically comprising of the three uh, almost the parallel interspersed ranges that are there with the plateaus and valleys. For example, the Kulu and the Kashmir Valley are fertile, extensive, and they are of a great scenic beauty also. Friends, ये दिए हुए हैं Jelapla, Nathula, all these things are there. Are on the basically on the Indo-Tibetan trade route, and they are passing through the Chumbi Valley, the northeast of Darjeeling, and the Shipkila. Very very important. ये यूपीएससी में पहले भी आ चुका है. Shipkila in the Satluj Valley region and northeast of the Kalpa region. It would be located over there. Question 22. Which of the following are the tributaries of river Ganga? And the option that are available to us are Yamuna, Ramganga, Mahananda, Kosi, and Gandak. Which of the following options are correct for question number 22? कृष्णा विल ट्राई टू मेक अवेलेबल द पीडीएफ ऑल्सो. लेकिन आपको जो टेलीग्राम ग्रुप बनाया गया है या व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप जो स्टूडेंट्स का बना है वहाँ पे हम शेयर कर देंगे, बिकॉज जितने क्वेश्चंस कवर हुए उनकी शेयर कर देंगे. Question number 22, it is D that is the answer. Yamuna, Ramganga, Gagra, Gandak, Kosi, Mahananda, and Son. They are basically the important tributaries of River Ganga. River Chambal and Betwa, they are the important sub-tributaries, as they would be joining, for example, Yamuna before they are meeting the River Ganga. पहला चैप्टर से दिया गया पेज नंबर 3 से. Question 23. Which of the following are the principal tributaries of River Brahmaputra in India? The option available to us are Subansiri, Jia Bareli, Dansiri, and Manas. What is the important? What is the answer for this? For question number 23, it is D that is the answer. All the four are correct. The principal tributaries of Brahmaputra in India are Subansiri, Jiavareli, Dhansiri, Puthimari, Pagaldia, and Manas. These are the important tributaries. Brahmaputra in Bangladesh is fed by, for example, Teesta, etc. And finally, it will be falls into the Ganga. The Barak River, that is very very important. The head streams of Meghna, ये आ चुका है. Barak River कहाँ head streams of Meghna? It is basically rising in the hills of Manipur. The important tributaries of the river are Makku, Tarang, Tebai, Jiri, Sonai, etc. These are the important tributaries which are there. The Barak River will be continuing in Bangladesh till it is combined, till the combined Ganga Brahmaputra join will be there at Barak Bazaar. वहाँ पे join हो जाएगा. Question 24. Which of the following statement is are correct? The power to amend the constitution vests in the parliament. The constitution has provisions for independence of judiciary, comptroller and auditor general and attorney general of India. The constitution distributes legislative powers between parliament and state legislature and provides for vesting the residual powers in parliament. Which of the following options are correct for question number 24? For question number 24, others also do try. It is 1 and 3 are correct. The second statement is wrong. The Constitution has provisions for independence of judiciary, CAG, Public Service Commission and Election Commission of India. इनकी इंडिपेंडेंस के बारे में बताया गया है. Question 25. Consider the following statement regarding fundamental duties which are correct. The national emergencies was the main reason behind their adoption. Swan Singh Committee suggested penal provisions for not adhering to the duties. These are not applicable to non-citizen residents of the country. Which of the following options are correct? It is B that is the answer. The first statement is incorrect because in 1976 the Congress party set up a committee to make recommendations about the fundamental right, the need and necessity which was felt during the operation of internal emergency उस time पे. The government at the center accepted these recommendations and therefore it came out with a 42nd constitution amendment which added a new part, that is part 4A of to the constitution, that was added to it. New part will be consisting of one article, that is 51A, which for the first time specified कि 10 fundamental duties होनी चाहिए. बाद में education वाला भी add कर दिया गया था. Question 26. Which of the following ministers are involved in Council of Ministers? And the option, very very important question. Minister of the Cabinet, Minister of State independent charge, Minister of the State deputy ministers. Which of the following options are correct? किन को हम काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स में मानते हैं? फ्रेंड्स, ये वो क्वेश्चन है जो आपको लक्ष्मीकांत में या कहीं और डायरेक्टली नहीं मिलते, लेकिन ऐसे क्वेश्चन आते हैं। जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल इन 2018 की जब बात करते हैं, 2018 में देयर वर अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 21 क्वेश्चंस व्हिच केम आउट ऑफ पॉलिटी, एंड 21 में से अगर लक्ष्मीकांत की बात करते हैं तो 8-10 ही थे। फिर नेक्स्ट 11-12 क्वेश्चन, 13 क्वेश्चन कहाँ से आए? इट इज़ फ्रॉम दीज डेवलपमेंट्स दैट आर इंडिया बुक हो गया, कुछ और डेवलपमेंट्स हो रही थी, वहाँ से क्वेश्चन आ रहे थे। एंड यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ दिस बुक। अब पूरी की पूरी बुक इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, ये भी साथ में इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट है, बहुत लिमिटेड सी इंपॉर्टेंट है। Question number 26, it is D, that is the answer. The Council of the Minister, they would be comprising the ministers who are basically the members of the cabinet, the Minister of the State, independent charge, the Minister of the State would be there, and Deputy Ministers. These all they would be a part of the Council of Ministers. D. Question 27. Consider the following statement regarding special mention. Very, very important question. Which of the following options are correct? The Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs takes a follow-up action on matters raised under Rule 377 of the Rules of Procedure and the conduct of business in the Lok Sabha and by way of special mention in the Rajya Sabha. Second, it is conducted at the same time in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Which of the following options are correct for question number 27? Question number 27 is A, that is the answer. Special mentions have been made basically the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs that will be taking up the follow action on various matters raised under Article 377 on the Rules of Procedure that is basically given in Lok Sabha, and by a special way that is being mentioned in the Rajya Sabha or Rajya Sabha के लिए अलग से. After the question hour that is basically being held, the Lok Sabha member raises a matter of the urgent public importance at 12 noon. In Rajya Sabha, the matter of the urgent basic importance are basically being raised at 11 am. Though it is not mandatory, the minister often react to the point that has been made by the members, but is not obligatory to mandatory to do it. In the absence of the concerned minister, the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, he would be assuring the House or the member that their sentiments would be conveyed basically to the concerned ministers. वो भी convey हो जाएंगे. Very important. Next, also equally important. Which of the following type of businesses are allocated to the cabinet secretariat? Secretarial assistance to the cabinet and the cabinet committees, rules of business, inform the major activities of all ministries department by means of monthly summary of their activities. Which of the following options are correct? Very important. ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं फ्रेंड्स, द क्वेश्चंस आर नॉट कमिंग मच फ्रॉम लक्ष्मीकांत, बट ऐसे क्वेश्चंस बनते हैं और यूपीएससी में वो इम्पॉर्टेंट हो जाते हैं. And these questions you won't be able to solve just by reading Lakshmikant. For question number 28, it is D that is the answer. The cabinet secretariat function directly under the prime minister. The administrative head of the secretariat is the cabinet secretary, and also the ex officio chairman of the civil service board that has been there. The business allocated to the cabinet secretariat is secretarial assistance that they would be given to the cabinet and the cabinet committees, and the rules of the business that would also be formed. The cabinet secretariat is also responsible for the administration of the government of India transaction of the business rule 1961, in which it would be facilitating the smooth transaction of business in the government ministries and departments that are taking place, ensuring that there is adherence to these rules. जो रूल बनाए गए हैं उन रूल्स को वो मानने का भी काम करेंगे. Next, the Department of Ex-servicemen Welfare. It basically works under the ministry, which are the following ministry, and the options that are available to us are Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Ministry of Labor and Employment. Which of the following options are correct? For question number 29, it is B that is the answer, yes. Ministry of Defense is the Department of Defense, Defense Production, Defense Research and Development, and Department of Ex-servicemen Welfare. These are basically a part of it. Question 30. Consider the following statement related to UMANG app, and we have to see which of the following options are correct. It was launched to promote Digital India program. It aims to make government services accessible on mobile phone of the citizens. It was developed by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology and National E-Governance Division. Which of the following options are correct? Question 30. It is D that is the answer. All the statements are correct. UMANG app has been launched basically with the aim to make government services accessible on mobile phones to the citizens. That will be offering 132 services from 33 states and central government departments and 4 states under a single window platform. The services would be made available. It stands for Unified Mobile Application for the New Age Governance. Basically launched to promote a Digital India program, and basically so that e-governance can be made more and more accessible to the mobile e-governance can be provided in a country. Developed by Ministry of Electronic Information and Technology and National E-Governance Division, supports 13 languages and cater on demand accessibility. Various services, for example, Aadhaar, PAN, booking gas cylinders, PF, Provident Fund account, digital lockers, they are basically being held under a single platform. Friends, before we move to the next question, any student want to ask anything regarding UPSC preparation, definitely वो पूछ सकते हैं. अभी 1-2 मिनट का हम ब्रेक लेंगे. कोई भी आप पूछना चाहते हैं तो पूछिए, because this is a time when you should be guided to a right extent, or अगर सही डायरेक्शन में पढ़ाई करोगे कंपेरेटिवली एग्ज़ाम निकालने के चांसेस बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ जाते हैं। कुछ भी आपने पूछना है? कुछ भी पूछना है आपने? एनीथिंग रिगार्डिंग यूपीएससी? करिश्मा, एक्चुअली क्या है कि आई एम देयर इन पंजाब, और प्रॉब्लम कहाँ पे है कि दिल्ली में आप लोगों को पता ही होगा टीवी देख के कि एवरीथिंग इज़ बीइंग ऑलमोस्ट लॉकडाउन। तो मैं बुक्स आर लाइंग देयर इन पंजाब। आई मैं यहाँ पे फ्री भी हूँ, आई वांट टू टेक द क्लासेस, लेकिन बिकॉज ऑफ द सिचुएशन दैट इज़ देयर आई एम अनएबल टू गो टू दिल्ली, जिसकी वजह से आई एम अनएबल टू टेक द क्लासेस ऑल्सो। वंस द सिचुएशन इट गेट्स क्वाइट नॉर्मल, बिकॉज दिल्ली में काफ़ी ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम है। In the case that काफ़ी हद तक shops are being closed on a regular basis. They are not being allowed to open. Mock drills are being organized. Yesterday, one of the friend of mine, he told that random samples are also being collected from the from various houses also. Uh, Approximately 300 samples were collected yesterday to have a random check कि उनको कहीं पे कोरोना वायरस तो नहीं है। Any student want to ask anything or shall we move forward? फ्रेंड्स, लेकिन ये क्वेश्चन है, इनको आप अच्छे से करने की कोशिश करिए, दैट इज़ वेरी मच एसेंशियल। आगे मूव करते हैं। विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग आर द इनिशिएटिव्स टेकन बाय द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ पर्सनल एंड ट्रेनिंग, DOPT, and the options that are available to us are discontinuation of interview for grade B and C post, single registration and two-tier system of examination, self-certification for appointment, accelerated filing up of Devang Jan vacancies. Which of the following options are correct for question number 31? Very important. सुशांत, वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग, कैसे हैं? For question 31, it is D, that is the answer. All the statements are correct. Initiatives, for example, discontinuation of the various interviews that are there, switching from OMR based to computer, single registration and two-tier examination, and all these things, they are basically being provided for these people. Sabarimala temple issues are based upon. The options are violation of constitution, imposing patriarchy, it subvert the idea of everyone being equal to God. Which of the following options are correct? Very, very important question, friend. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है ये. What can be the answer for this question? Yes, it is D. That is the answer. The preventing women from entering the places of the worship. It is basically going against Article 14, Article 15, Article 19, and 25 of the Constitution. Which deals with the right to equality, right against discrimination that is based upon gender, freedom of the movement, and freedom of religion that would be done. It also ensured excluded the women claiming that bearing them access of the inner sanctum sanctorium जो होता है of the shrine, violating Article 25(1) to freely practice their religion. Right to manage its own religious affairs, Article 26(1) cannot override the right to practice the religion itself. As Article 26 cannot be seen basically to overrule the right to practice one's religion as is being granted by the Constitution of India. Question 33. Consider the following statements which are correct. The Sabarimala temple row is all about the conflict between traditions and women's right. Is the temple of God Murugan. Sabarimala is street Dharam Sasta temple is one of the most famous Hindu temples of India located in the Kottayam districts of Kerala. Which of the following options are correct? Question number 33. क्या आंसर हो सकता है 33 के लिए? Question number 33, it is B, that is the answer. Sabarimala row is basically all about the conflict of tradition and women's rights that are there. As per the traditions and customs, the women between the 10 years and 50 years of age were not allowed to go into the Sabarimala temple. But the situation basically changed when the Supreme Court had ruled that the restricting women entry because of menstruating age was unconstitutional. The temple is one of the past Hindu temples located in the Pathanamthitta districts of Kerala. Question 34. Lord Ayyappa at Sabarimala temple is worshipped as incarnation of God Kartikeya, Nestika Brahmachari, or the celibate of life. He is a god Shiv worshipped at Kerala. He is worshipped for his place described in Athreya Upanishad. Which of the following options are correct? Question number 34. . It is B, that is correct. Lord Ayyappan is basically being worshipped as Nastika Brahmachari or the celibate of life. Therefore, as per the notification by the board, there was some board that manages the temple. The women belonging to menstruate age, they are not permitted basically to enter into the temple. Consider the following statement regarding the home guards, and we have to choose which of the following options are correct. They are first constituted. They have been constituted first just before independence to control the communal rights. They have been mandated to guard the international borders. They have been constituted in all states and UTs. Which of the following options are correct for question number 35? Question 35. A become the answer. The first and the second statements are correct. The Home Guard, they are basically the volunteer force, were first raised in December 1946 with the agenda that they wanted to assist the police in controlling the civil disturbances and the communal riots that are taking place. Subsequently, the concept of voluntary citizenship force was adopted by several states. In the wake of the Chinese aggression in 1916, the center advised the states and union territories that they wanted to merge the existing voluntary organization into one uniform voluntary force known as the Home Guards. The organization is spread over in all the states and union territories except Kerala. In border states, the Border Wing Home Guard Battalion have also been raised, which serve as an auxiliary to the border security forces. Question 36. The Malimat Committee, often seen in news, is related to which of the following? And the options that are available to us are reform in the criminal justice system, reform in the provisions of the fifth schedule, reform in the appointment of a governor, reform in the funding of election. Which of the following options are correct? 36. Basically, reforms in the criminal judicial system that is there regarding the Malimat committee that has been set up. Very simple question, straightforward. कई बार directly simple question ही पूछ सकते हैं. Question 37. Consider the following statement regarding the mission fingerling, and which of the following options are correct? It's a program to enable the holistic development and management of the poultry sector in India. Second, the mission aims to achieve a target to enhance the poultry production from 10.79 million tons to 15 mmT by 2021 under the Pink Revolution. Which of the following options are correct? Question number 37. फ्रेंड्स ऐसे क्वेश्चंस बहुत बार यूपीएससी में आते हैं, तो ट्राई टू कवर देम कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली. Question number 37, it is B, that is the answer. The government has identified 20 states based on their potential and other relevant factors. Basically, they wanted to strengthen the fish fingerling production and basically the fish seed infrastructure in the country. There would be establishment of the fingerling rearing ponds and hatcheries that would be established. It will converge with the production of 20 lakh tons of the fish annually that would be done, which will be benefiting approximately 4 million families in a great extent. Question 38. Consider the following statement regarding National Investment Fund, and we have to choose which of the following options are correct. The government has constituted it in 2005 November. The fund where disinvestment proceeds of the central PSEs are kept. Third, the fund can be used to subscribe to the shares of the central public sector enterprises to maintain the government shareholding. Which of the following options are correct? क्वेश्चन 38 का क्या आंसर बनता है जी? फ्रेंड्स एवरीवन शुड ट्राई. जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स अभी देख रहे हैं सबको ट्राई करना चाहिए. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा गलत ही होगा और तो कुछ नहीं होने वाला. For question number 38, it is D, that is the answer. The government has instituted NIF in 2005 into which the proceeds of from disinvestment, जितना भी disinvestment से proceeds आ रहे हैं from the central public sector under enterprises, they would be channelized. NIF would be utilized for the various purposes. For example, subscribing to the shares that is being issued by the central public sector enterprising on the right basis, so as to ensure that 51% ownership is not being diluted. Investment that is done by the government into regional rural banks, NABARD, Exim, etc. Equity infusion that is being undertaken into various metro projects. Investment into Bhartiya Nebikya Vidyut Nigam Limited and UCIL, Uranium Corporation of India, or investment into Indian railways towards the capital expenditure. All these are a part of it. Question 39. Which of the following are the features of the transgender persons bill? And the options that are available to us are: the bill aims to set up national and state commission for transgender person to protect their rights on the lines of National Commission for Women. The bill aims to provide reservation for transgender person in matters of employment and education. Which of the following options are correct? Question number 39, it is B, that is the answer. Highlights of the bill. The bill is basically aiming to stop any discrimination, कोई भी discrimination that is being done against a transgender person in various sectors. For example, education हो गया, employment हो गया, for example, healthcare हो गया, they will be part of it. It will also be directing the central and the state government so that they are in a position to provide the welfare schemes for them also. The bill states that a person will be recognized as transgender on the basis of the certificate of identity issued through the district screening committee. The certificate will be a proof as identity and of a transgender and therefore will be conferring various rights upon the person. Question 40. Which of the following schemes was launched by the Government of India, which envisages the creation of a tertiary healthcare capacity in medical education, research and clinical care in underserved areas of the district? कौन सा प्रोग्राम है, स्कीम है? कायाकल्प, बी स्वच्छ स्वास्थ्य प्रोग्राम, प्रधानमंत्री स्वास्थ्य सुरक्षा योजना, एंड डी नन ऑफ द अबव. Yes, the answer is Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana was basically announced in 2003. The objective was with correcting the regional imbalance that has been existing between the availability of the affordable and reliable tertiary healthcare services, and also they wanted to increase or augment the facilities of our quality medicine education in the country. Two components हैं: setting up of the aims like institutions that would be done, and upgradation of the government medical college institutions that would be done. Question 41. Which of the following are the objectives of the National Food Security Mission? And the option available to us are: it aims to increase the production of rice, wheat, pulses, and coarse cereals through area expansion and productivity enhancement. Second, it aims to restore soil fertility and productivity. It aims to create employment opportunities and enhance the farm level economy. Which of the following options are correct? क्या बनता है 41 का आंसर? The answer for 41 is A. Adopted the resolution that was done to launch a food security mission comprising of the wheat, pulses, uh, and rice that has to be increased by 10 million tons, 8 million tons, and also by 2 million tons the pulses has to be increased. The mission met an overwhelming success, 8 million tons, and the new targets were also being fixed. And coarse cereals were being added. For example, they said along with wheat, rice, and pulses, 3 million tons of coarse cereals will be produced by the end of the increased by end of 12th five-year plan. Consider the following statement regarding Parivartan scheme and which of the following options are correct. First, the objective of the scheme is that there is a focus on increasing health insurance penetration in rural areas. The scheme will be implemented by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Which of the following options are correct? Question number 42. Question number 42. It is D that is the answer. दोनों के दोनों statement ही गलत है. Incorrect, as under Parivartan scheme, the government is plans to warehouse the stressed power projects and to protect their values. That power asset revival through the warehousing and rehabilitation scheme that would be done looks to warehouse around 25,000 megawatt stressed projects under the asset management company in a bid to protect their value and also prevent from them distress sale ताकि वो उनका नुकसान में आके सेल ना हो सके. It will be implemented by the Ministry of Power. REC Limited, formerly Rural Electrification Corporation of India, is a public infrastructure finance company in India in power sector. RECL has the scheme, though it wanted to revitalize the power sector in the country. Question 43. Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana aims to, and the option available to us are efficient lighting, enhance awareness on using efficient equipment which reduce electricity bills and help preserve environment. The scheme is under the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Under the scheme, an adult woman member of a below poverty line family identified through the socio-economic caste census is given the deposit free benefit. Which of the following options are correct? The government is working upon it. Plans. The planning is being done for its revival of the various सेक्टर्स ऑल्सो. बेसिकली जिस तरीके से हमने इंडस्ट्रीज़ को रिवाइव किया था तब बस उसी हिसाब से हम पावर सेक्टर को भी रिवाइव करेंगे 2008 के फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस के बाद. तो उसके लिए प्रोपोजिशन किया जा रहा है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 43. इट इज़ डी दैट इज़ द आंसर. सेकेंड एंड थर्ड स्टेटमेंट्स आर करेक्ट. Pradhan Ujjwala Yojana basically provides the LPG connection to the poor households. Under the scheme, an adult women member of the below poverty line family identified by the SCCC the caste census जो हो रहा है, they would be allowed to, they are eligible for it. Implement कौन करेगा? By Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas it would be implemented. Question 44. Recently, the Ministry of Ayush launched a new scheme for promoting pharmacovigilance of Ayush drugs. Consider the following statement regarding it. It is a central sector scheme. The objective of the scheme is to develop the culture of documenting adverse effect and undertake safety monitoring of Ayush drugs. The scheme intends to facilitate the establishment of a three-tier network of National Pharmacovigilance Center, NPVCC, Intermediary Pharmacovigilance Center, and Peripheral Pharmacovigilance Center. It is being given, which is correct, 2 and 3, 2 only, 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. Which of the following options are correct for question number 44? Yes, caste census based. It is D that is the answer. As introduced, Ministry of Ayush has introduced it. Prime objective is basically to the culture of documenting the adverse effect and undertake various safety monitoring of Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, homeopathy drugs, and surveillance also of misleading advertisements that are appearing basically print या electronic media में. Next, Govardhan Yojana is the scheme. Okay, the scheme would focus on managing and converting cattle dung and solid waste to inform to compost biogas and bio CNG. It will be given subsidy to the farmers. It is a scheme under the Ministry of Agriculture. It is a scheme of the children under 14 launched by the Ministry of Women and Child Empowerment. Which of the following options are correct? Yes, for 45 it is A. The government is planning to create an online platform for trading cow dung and agricultural waste under the scheme. Galvanizing organic bioagro resource done, that is Govardhan, scheme was announced. Question 46. Consider the following statement regarding Seva Boj Yojana. Which of the following options are correct? It's a program of the Ministry of Culture. The scheme envisages lessening the burden of such charitable religious institutions who provide food without any cost. Which of the following options are correct for question number 46? Yes, for 46, it is C, that is the answer. The program that has been started by the Ministry of Culture, and it envisages reimbursing of the central GST and integrated GST so that it would be lessening the financial burden such as on the various religious charitable institutions who provide food, prasad or a langar, that is community kitchen, ja bandara, that is free of cost, without being discrimination, making discrimination on the public or the devotees basis pay. 47. Consider the following statement regarding the Prevention of Children from Sexual Offence Act, POCSO Act 2012. It was formulated in order to effectively address sexual abuse and sexual exploitation of children. It was for children under the age of 12 years. The act is only for ensuring education for all. Which of the following options are correct for question number 47? For 47, it is A, that is the answer. uh, that defines any child between 18 years or below the 18 years of age. It defines different forms of sexual abuses that are there, including the penetrative and non-penetrative assault, as well as the sexual harassment and pornography. All these are a part of it. Question 48. The draft National Digital Communication Policy 2018 has outlined three major missions which it aims to achieve by 2022. Which of the following options are correct? Connect India, under which it aims to create robust digital communications. Propel India, under which the government aims to harness the power of emerging digital technologies, including 5G, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, etc. Secure India, which aims to safeguard the digital sovereignty of India with a focus on ensuring individual autonomy and choice. Data ownership, privacy, and security. Which of the following options are correct? One only, one and two, two only, one, two, and three. Yes, all are correct. D become the answer. Connect India, Propel India, and Secure India. These are the three aims which it tried to meet. Three major missions which they are basically working that they want to achieve till 2022. Question 49. Which one of the following is correct regarding Surya Shakti Kisan Yojana that was in news recently? Option available to us are: it is a solar powered scheme and it enables farmers to generate electricity through solar panel. It is for improving soil fertility by the use of the solar energy. It is for making biofertilizer through agricultural waste. And D, none of the above. क्या आंसर है जिसका? It is A, that is the answer, yes. It basically Surya Shakti Kisan Yojana. It enables the farmers that they one can generate electricity for captive consumption and also sell the surplus power to the grid and extra generate the extra amount of income that is required. Question 50. The goal for the national telecom policy are, and the option available to us are: the policy has announced the goals such as deployment of 5 million public LAN hotspots by 2020 and 1 million by 2022 through the National Broadband Vision. The policy has outlined the goals such as providing broadband for all, creating 4 million additional jobs in digital communication sector, apart from enhancing the contribution of the digital communication sector to 8% of the gross India's gross domestic product from less than 6% in 2017. Which of the following options are correct for question number 50? It is B, that is the answer. The first statement is incorrect. The policy has outlined the goals such as providing broadband for all that would be done. They want to create a 4 million additional jobs in the digital communication sector. Apart from enhancing the contribution of the digital communication, that will be done to the 8%. Consider the following about Ayush system of medicines, and we have to choose which of the following options are correct. Ayurveda is based upon Charak and Shushru's Samhitas. Unani system originated in the Arab land and came to India in the medieval periods. Homeopathy was brought to India by Christian missionaries. Which of the following options are correct? These questions becomes very important. आपको एक जगह पे आयुष स्कीम के अंडर नहीं मिलेंगे ऐसे ऐसे पॉइंट्स. It is only India Yearbook that will give you these points. Question 51, it is C that is the answer. Charak Samhita is fine. What Unani system of medicine? It was basically Yunan, Greece, originated to a not Arab land, and passed into the many centuries before being entering into India through the medieval period. The physicians from the time of Hippocrates around 400 BC have observed that certain substances they could produce the symptoms of a disease in a healthy person, similar to the people who are suffering from the disease. Question 52. Consider the following statement regarding human DNA profiling bill. Which of the following options are correct? The bill proposes to allow collection of samples from the private parts of the human body for DNA profiling and data preservation with the approval of the regulatory body. If a foreign country requests DNA profiling, the DNA bank will coordinate through CBI of the concerned department. The DNA Profiling Board will frame guidelines for training of the police and other investigating agency dealing with DNA related matters. Which of the following options are correct? 52. Question number 52, it is D, that is the answer. All the statements are correct in this regard. तो फ्रेंड्स हम इसको वी वुड बी कंटिन्यूइंग दिस थिंग सेम फॉर एग्जांपल इन द अभी 11 बजे मेरी क्लास है, स्पेशल क्लास इज देयर. आई विल कंटिन्यू टेकिंग अप इंडिया बुक क्वेश्चंस टुडे, और इसके बाद हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में भी डिस्कस करेंगे. टुमारो देयर इज अनदर स्पेशल क्लास दैट हैज़ बीन शेड्यूल्ड फॉर इंडिया बुक क्वेश्चन डिस्कशन. इन क्वेश्चंस के मुताबिक आपको काफ़ी ज़्यादा हेल्प होगी इंडियर बुक को बड़ी आसान तरीके से कवर करने के. मैक्सिमम क्वेश्चंस आई ट्राई टू कवर. डू फॉलो दीज क्वेश्चंस एंड ट्राई टू लर्न इंडियर बुक थ्रू दीज क्वेश्चन आंसर्स. इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस है, यहीं से काफ़ी हद तक आपके क्वेश्चन सॉल्व होने के चांसेस हैं. थैंक यू वेरी मच फ्रेंड्स. स्टे सेफ, ईट हेल्दी एंड ट्राई टू आइसोलेट योर सेल्फ. और आपको तो करना ही पड़ेगा बिकॉज यूपीएससी का पेपर है. थैंक यू वेरी मच.